In the northernmost reaches of Pakistan, a few kilometers away from the Chinese border, lies a singular valley, only reachable through a treacherous mountain road. It is the home of the Wakhi people of Shimshal, the best mountaineers of Pakistan. This remote haven, cradled by the Karakoram Range, is renowned not only for its breathtaking landscapes, but also for the indomitable spirit of its people. This is a land where self-sufficiency is not just a way of life, but a testament to the Wakhi people's unwavering spirit. Independent, self-governing, and deeply connected to the contours of their rugged homeland, the inhabitants of Shimshal embody the essence of a community that has not only endured, but thrived against the backdrop of isolation. Join us on a documentary to the farthest reaches, where the Wakhi of Shimshal have sculpted their destiny amidst towering peaks and crystalline glaciers. Welcome to Shimshal, the valley of the Wakhi Mountaineers of Pakistan.
And now we're going to the famous Shimshal village known for its mountaineers, where most of the mountain guides come from in the region. And to go there, it's an off-road road, so it takes around 3 hours from Pastures. And supposedly the road is very steep and quite impressive, so we'll see how that looks.
The Shimshal Road, stretching over 60 kilometers, is renowned as one of the most dangerous roads in the world. It snakes through unforgiving terrain with sheer cliffs on one side and precipitous drops on the other. The journey from the Karakoram Highway to Shimshal takes approximately 3 hours. A thrilling and often heart-stopping odyssey that demands skill, nerve, and above all, a deep understanding of the formidable landscape. But why was such a perilous road constructed in the first place? To understand the significance of the Shimshal Road, we must delve into the history that shaped it, a history rooted in the community's determination to break free from isolation and forge a path towards progress. In the mid-20th century, Shimshal was a secluded village, accessible only by foot, with no roads connecting it to the rest of the world. In order to get to the rest of the valley, people had to hike for 3 to 5 days. The absence of a reliable transportation link hindered economic growth, education, and healthcare for the Shimshali people. Back in the 80s, there were some talks between the Pakistani government and the Shimshali to build a road financed by the government. Unfortunately, the 1,500 people of the valley were not deemed important enough to invest that kind of money, and they were told that it would be easier to just relocate somewhere else. So the local people decided to take their fate into their own hands and build the road themselves. It took them 18 years, and most of the current adults in the village have participated at some point in their life to the construction of the road. It opened up the valley to the rest of the world and led to increased economic development and education in Shimshal. The Shimshal Road is not the only manifestation of the Shimshali community's self-help and independence. Being cut off from the rest of the world until the road was finished in 2003 made the Shimshalis rely strongly on one another and supportive of the community as a whole. The solidarity and cohesion of the Shimshali community is displayed in various community-built infrastructures, such as bridges and houses that you can see on the road. These are the result of a unique system of philanthropy native to the valley called Nomus, which is intertwined with the local Shimshali culture, and that is impossible not to mention.
Ça, c'était une méthode de faire des travaux à Shimshal. La communauté Shimshali, elles ont créé un système. Donc c'était comme quoi, par exemple, quelqu'un qui était riche, qui avait pas mal de nourriture, par exemple, et des animaux, des yaks et tout, ils offraient aux gens la nourriture pour créer quelque chose en nom de leurs ancêtres. Par exemple, quelque part une maison, ou quelque part un passage ou un pont. Donc c'était la communauté qui acceptait cette nourriture et tout ce qu'ils offraient de beurre, de la viande ou tout ça, mais en grande quantité quoi. Et ils travaillaient volontairement pour créer cette maison ou faire le passage ou créer un pont pour les piétons par exemple. Donc tout ça, et ça s'appelait Nomus. Donc la famille, ils étaient quelque part, ils étaient satisfaits comme quoi ils ont dépensé au nom de leurs ancêtres quelque chose et ils ont aidé la communauté pour avoir une place. Et puis quand on construisait les maisons, c'est surtout sur le chemin de Shimshal quand on passe, il y a des étapes où on passe la nuit et c'est des maisons qui ont construites pour Nomus, par les locaux. Et vraiment, ça aide la communauté, quoi. C'est un endroit qu'on avait besoin de passer la nuit dans un héberge, quoi, quelque part. Et ça a été offert par une famille riche pour la communauté. Mais ça appartient pas à la famille. Donc tout ça, ça appartient à la communauté Shimshal. Même aujourd'hui, ça se pratique. Hein.
After 3 hours on this bumpy road, we finally reach Shimshal Valley. The valley lies at an altitude of 3,113 meters above sea level and is the highest settlement in the district. As I soon discovered it, Shimshal is predominantly a rural settlement, with most of its people being farmers. The agricultural activity beyond a few crops revolves around a lot of animal products, like meat, butter, and milk. The Shimshali often own goats, sheep, and yaks, that they move to the pastures during the warm season. The situation and their remoteness led the Shimshali cuisine to be slightly different from the rest of Hunza, and include original dishes like chalpindok, chapati drizzled with a salty sauce of kurut, dried yak milk curds, and butter. With a population of around 2,000 residents, Shimshal remains a tightly knit community. The isolation of this valley has allowed them to preserve a way of life that remains more traditional than most of the surrounding Hunza region. You can still find in the valley many old houses, which have preserved their traditional character, built of stone and mud, which stays warm during the harsh winters, where temperatures can drop below 40 degrees. With its unique architecture, built around the central room, used both as a living room, a bedroom, and a kitchen, Shimshali traditional houses give a glimpse of what life in the valley was like for centuries. The Shimshali belong to the Wakhi people, who are spread between 4 countries: Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Pakistan, and Xinjiang in China. The name comes from the Wakhan corridor, that is in today's Afghanistan. They all speak Wakhi, an Iranian language related to Tajik. With an estimated 40,000 speakers, split between Afghanistan, China, Pakistan, and Tajikistan, Wakhi is considered an endangered language. Although Wakhi remains a vital language, still learned by community members of all ages, the use of the language is declining in areas where the Wakhi are a minority. In Pakistan, Wakhi speakers now typically also speak Urdu and English, and may have contact with speakers of Brushesky and China. Many words from these languages have entered the younger generation's vocabulary. Another challenge of Wakhi is that traditionally the language has not been written, with Persian serving as a high culture written standard in the region. In recent years, activists and researchers working to preserve and write the language have developed Wakhi orthographies, using Arabic, Cyrillic, and Roman letters depending on where they are based, reflecting the diverse countries in which Wakhi people live. Due to the remoteness of the valley, the Wakhi culture is still very strong in Shimshal. Whether we talk about the language, cultural dances, music, or just greetings, people in Shimshal have stayed in touch with more parts of their Wakhi heritage than any other parts of Hunza. Many cultural practices in Shimshal, like yak racing, are unknown in the rest of Hunza and still deeply tied to the Shimshali identity. Shimshal is the first Wakhi settlement to have been created in Hunza, before people spread to Pasu and Gojal over the centuries. The history of the valley is quite interesting. It has been the home of the Shimshalis for more than 600 years. We are all descendants of a single man called Mamu Singh. To hear more about it, I went to interview the first teacher of the valley, Daulat Amin, a man who had an incredible life and who would sacrifice himself for his community so that people could get an education. He very nicely agreed to tell us about the story of Mamu Singh and the establishment of Shimshal village.
Our grandparent, his name is Mamu Singh. First he spent his life in Hunza. Therefore, the Hunza people in Mauritius called him Mamu Shah. Our grandfather, I told you, in Hunza, he was going to the pastures with his wife, looking after the getters and collecting the materials from moon. And his elder brother was the minister of state of Hunza in the 14th century age. And fortunately or unfortunately, his wife has died in Hunza, wherefore he became deserted from Hunza. And he came to Gojal and went up. The place it calls Kamaris. He went there. And his brother has sent him as a minister of Wasan on behalf of to Wasan. And from Wahan he married with Wakhi lady, Khadija. And they came back to Hunza after 4 years from Waha. He came to Hunza with his wife. And when he reached in Gojal, his wife requested him, Mamu Shah's wife. She told that, I'm a Wakhi lady. Now it is impossible for me to stay in Hunza. You are Mauritius person. I worship. Please let me in Wakhi area. Therefore, they both came here, Shimshal, and they started their life, spending their life in Shimshal. And they have got a son. His name was Sher. Around Sher, we are nowadays, we are all Shimshali from to one God.
The story of Mamu Singh is foundational in Shimshal and has been transmitted generations after generations. However, when I was there, I just kept wondering, where does the name Shimshal come from? Daulat Amin had another story to tell me to explain its origins.
One holy person has visited in their house, Sher's house, Mamu Shah's house, and he told that you will get a male. Therefore, they became warrior. Now we aged, they have no children. And they told that now we aged, how we will get. He told that my name is Shamsuddin Muhammad. I came from outside for your soul, for your problem solving. And when you will get son, next, you name him Sheraj. And you will start to water his play part of late, and you should say, name it Shimshal on my name. Therefore we are Shimshal, Sham's living places.
The current territory of Shimshal is way bigger than the 3 hamlets that you can see when you visit. Shimshal is on huge amount of land, mostly for pastures. Actually, Shimshal represents the majority of the Hunza district. The area all the way to Shimshal Pass and next to China is part of the valley traditional land. And like almost everything, the story of how this came to be is related to Mamu Singh and his family.
He told that when your son will become young, you send him to the east, Shimshal Pass, which we go, and it will be fruitful for him. And when he came young, like Said, his parents sent him to Shimshal. And he went there, and he left his luggage there. Then 6% in the area from upper side. Then they became surprisingly asked each other. He told that from where you left us. They said we came from our side, China. In the time there was not China's name. And he said that I have come from Shimshal and I am going to Sheikh's-Ghan. It is my place. Therefore he went. They discussed with each other and they have not accepted each other. Next time, the 6 people asked him a share. Now you are saying it is our place, we are saying it is our place. Now we should live follow. When you will succeed, you will to be born to our side. You can take from Sheikh's-Ghan to here. And if you fail, then you will leave Shimshal Forest. He said that which kind of polo we are playing. He said that I have a land. You are 6 people, and you have horses. How can I decide with you? They told they have given a yoke for him. And fortunately, because the spiritual lover was with him, and he started and he follow with them on yoke, it is impossible. And slowly, he took the ball to their side. Then they said, now, from here to Sheikh's-Ghan, it is for you. Then our grandfather stood up and he said, listen. He said, I am not fond of land. I am a human. I need persons. You wish I want to make relationship with. Then they accept alternate, and they went with them. They took away. The years came. There he married a lady, and he stayed with them. And fortunately, he got 5 children. And one of his children has long generation. We are belonging from. We are one set.
Like the rest of Hunza, Shimshal follows the teaching of Ismailism. The Ismaili faith, with its roots in Shia Islam, is characterized by a deep sense of spirituality and a commitment to social responsibility. In Shimshal, this faith is not only a religious affiliation, but a way of life, influencing daily practices, values, and community interactions. The Ismaili Jamaat Khana, a spiritual center in Shimshal, serves as a focal point for communal prayers, where residents gather to engage in rituals and reflections, guided by the teachings of their spiritual leader, the Aga Khan. The Ismaili community in Shimshal places great importance on education and pluralism. The ethos of compassion, volunteerism, and a strong sense of community solidarity weaves its way through the fabric of Shimshal, reflecting the profound impact of Ismaili traditions on both the spiritual and communal aspects of life in this mountainous enclave. Dolat Amin is a descendant of one of the first preachers of Hunza, who spread Ismailism to the valley.
Ismailism came in the time of Emir, the first Mir, Muhammad Hassan Khan. He was the Mir of Hunza, and a preacher person came from Wakhi to preach in Hunza. When he came to Hunza, first of all, he met with the Mir of Hunza, and he talked with him. He asked the preacher person, "What is your profession?" He told the mother's duties there. He told that I am a religious preacher. My name is Shah Ardabi. I came from us. And my duty is from my spiritual leader is that I want to show real Muslim Islamism to the people. As he explained all the history to him, the Mir of Hunza, Muhammad Hassan Khan, accepted Ismailism in Hunza. And he requested to the leaders of religious, I accepted your religion. Now it is how when I will die, how I shall do this religious to my people. He said that I shall send one of my preacher person, and he will give education to us people. Then he went back to Wasan. After that, the preacher came here, and from all the villages, they do 2 students to study Ismailism. And they went from here. One of, fortunately, my grandfather Qurban died, and one other person, Mullah Karnami person, these 2 persons went from here to get education, Ismaili education from him. And they went to Hunza. However, when they completed and they came success, they came back and they preached here Ismailism.
One feature of Ismailism is its focus on education and development. The Aga Khan Foundation funded part of the work for the road in Shimshal, but was also instrumental in Hunza when it comes to literacy and basic education in the valley. Indeed, almost everyone in Hunza is able to read and write, far above the Pakistani national average. The philosophy behind it was explained to me by Dolat Amin.
The Holy Prophet Muhammad and the prophets have come from. They who preach for the humans when life. And like that, fortunately, our spiritual teacher try to help us in physically and spiritually. Our spiritual leader, he has started Diamond Jubilee schools in Scott area. And fortunately, His Highness and his family is not only giving education to the Ismaili community. They are giving secular education to all the human. Did not like to that the Ismailis go out and other people sent in their place with the other people are killed.
Centuries of living among the highest mountains in the world made Shimshalis particularly prepared when it comes to climbing them. And as such, it is no surprise that when mountaineering came to the valley in the early 20th century, people in Shimshal quickly embraced it as an integral part of their cultural identity, becoming porters and have established a strong mountaineering tradition, making them famous all over Pakistan and the world as the Valley of Mountaineers. They are often compared to the Sherpas of Nepal, and sometimes seem to be a different breed, as their ability to climb high summits almost seamlessly is extraordinary. From an early age, the youth are introduced to the art of climbing, with the formidable peaks that surround the valley serving as both playground and challenge. The elders pass down their wisdom, teaching not just the technical skills required for scaling icy summits, but also instilling a deep respect for the mountains and the natural environment. Shimshal has produced a lot of renowned mountaineers whose exploits have captured the imagination of the global climbing community. The valley's towering peak, including the iconic Treacherous Ladyfinger Peak and the daunting Yaxil Sar, have witnessed daring ascents by local climbers, contributing to the valley's reputation as a breeding ground for accomplished alpinists. Shimshal Valley has been graced by the presence of several exceptional mountaineers whose achievements have left an indelible mark on the world of climbing. Among them, the legendary Rajab Shah stands as a symbol of Shimshali prowess in the realm of high-altitude adventure. Renowned for his audacious ascents, Shah conquered some of the most challenging peaks, including the formidable Mustaq Tower. His unwavering determination and commitment to the craft have inspired countless aspiring mountaineers, both within Shimshal and beyond. Additionally, the accomplished mountaineer Samina Beg has emerged as a trailblazer, not only becoming the first Pakistani woman to summit Mount Everest, but also leaving an enduring impact on the global climbing community. These iconic figures, alongside others like Shaheen Beg or Qudrat Ali, have collectively elevated Shimshal Valley's mountaineering tradition onto the world stage, solidifying their status as revered pioneers in the art of high-altitude exploration. I was lucky enough to meet a former mountaineer in Shimshal, who now owns the only hotel in the valley. Azil Shah very nicely agreed to talk about his life and the mountaineering tradition in Shimshal.
In Shimshal, it feels like almost everyone is a mountaineer, or at least like it's very famous, like in all of Gilgit-Baltistan. Like if you need a guide for a mountaineer guide, go at the Shimshal or Skardu. Why are there so many big mountaineers here?
This is very nice question, very good question. Because we are already living in 3,100 meters in Shimshal. We're talking about together today here. This is 3,100 meters. And our pastures, our yaks, or sheep, or goats living there, This is 4,700 meters. And the people is also, if someone is pregnant, they give baby also there. We are hard work. From here to Shimshal Pass is normal nowadays. Like you, if you going to Shimshal Pass, normally from here to Shimshal Pass 3 days. And from Shimshal Pass to here, 3 days. If you are good climatization, then from here to Shimshal Pass 3 days, and for coming 2 days. This is the big difference, because you are already good climatization. That is why you can come in for 2 days down. We are in this road, we are working very, very hard. And many times we go to there, looking our yaks, our sheep, how is the situation like this. That is why the people is very, very strong. And before, we are now not so many strong, because our grandfather, our grandmothers is very, very strong. Because they already, from Paso to here is 5 days, 6 days walk with 60 kg, 70 kg. The people is very strong, very, very strong. And now for me it's not possible. If I can carry 30 kg, it's very hard for me. And the people is before very, very strong. They bring 60 kg, 70 kg from Paso to here. And before, the food is 100% pure. 101% is pure. Only the people is bring from their sugar and some like tea and like this kind of things. Otherwise, all the food is organic. All is original. Like a meat, everything. 100% pure foods. That is why the people is, the life is 100 years, 110 years, more than 90 years old people is died.
As Hazil explained, people in Shimshal were naturally adapted to the mountains and to live in high altitude. As such, it was very easy for them to become porters and guides in the high mountains. But what also pushed a lot of people to become mountaineers is that Shimshal was a very poor place, and working for mountaineers expeditions was a great way to make some money.
We are very poor people. Already I'm 6 years old. My father is died. I'm 10 years old. My mother is died. I have no brothers, no income, nothing. And this time, I can climb 600 rupees in Ketu. I can climb 600 rupees is like, I think,
Like €2.
€2 and maybe $2 like this. And nowadays, $2 in per day. I choose porter. All the days I am carrying and going up, coming down like this. And this time is $300. I think now $3, not 300, $3. I have no brother, no father, no mother, nothing. It's important you can make a little money, because your life is very important. That is why I can, and especially in the mountaineering, there is a little bit more money. Like $2 for me is big, not small. And I reserve, and I can do like this.
Hazil, along with the older generation of mountaineers, is part of the Shimshal legend. He has successfully climbed Gashabrum 2, which is an 8,000-meter peak, and tried twice to summit K2. He has accompanied many very famous international climbers, and even now that he's retired, he still does some mountaineering on his free time. For an orphan living in a backwater valley, he has led a very inspiring life.
In 1999, I start expeditions, small expeditions like Mingli Gisar, causes are like this mountain is from Shimshal Pass, and completely I start 1996. This is my first peak. I climb Paso Peak. Paso Peak. This is 7,454 meters peak in Paso. First time I climb with a very big expedition, Alpine Group of Pakistan. They're making the expedition, and these expeditions, we are from Shimshal. We are 7 people from Shimshal, and more than 50 people is from Punjab, from KPK, from different, from Skardu also, and from Army, Pakistan Army. And we are very lucky. The 7 people is from Shimshal, and these 7 people is make all the roads from base camp to the summit, and these 7 people is summit Paso Peak. This is my first 7,000 meters peaks, and after in August 20 August, the same years, I go to Spantic Golden Peak, and this peak I also climbed in 1996. These 2 peaks, first Paso Peak and second Spantic Golden Peak. And this is my starting, and after I can climbed Peshawar 2-3 times. 1 times with Iranis, 1 times with Japanese, and 1 time with Austrians. Very strong people, and I can go to the summits, and this is my first 8,000 meters peaks. And then after 1999, you go to with Hans Commander. This is a very famous climber in from Italy, and I can climb with this man in K2, and we are going to near the summit, and the weather is so bad, not possible. We don't see from here to here. Very bad weather and a strong wind. Not possible for. I said maybe 2 days our last day. We died because in my mind I said 2 days our. The last day we are finished, and we are lucky reached to Camp 4, and our tent is completely. There is the tent door is not closed, little bit open, and all the snow is going inside. It's not possible we say that. And in the night, we come down to Camp 3, and then again go to for summit, and near Camp 2, one man is from Romania, very strong climber, and during the from Camp 1 to Camp 2, the slide is coming and hitting for the Romania man, and this man is died in K2, and then our expedition is finished. And I can climb also Mustahata with the Austrians. With the Austrians, with the Netherlands, within the Netherlands group. I can climb Mustahata. After Mustahata, we come to Pakistan, and then go to Sonia Peak. And this is in Shimshal. It's this peak is calling small K2. It's a very beautiful peak, very beautiful peak. This is for climbing. Many experience for climbing, because I don't want. I can talk a lot, because this is my experience for the mountaineering.
In the heart of Shimshal Valley, the mountaineering tradition continues to thrive and evolve, with the Shimshal Mountaineering School playing a pivotal role in ensuring its preservation and growth. a dream project of Shimshal's renowned mountaineers Kudrat Ali and Shaheen Beg, who founded it in 2009, the school promotes excellence in professional mountaineering through extensive hands-on mountaineering training programs. It stands as a testament to the community's commitment to passing on the ancestral mountaineering expertise to the next generation. Notably, the school has embraced inclusivity, actively training and empowering women to become skilled mountain guides. In a departure from historical norms, these women are emerging as the rising stars of the valley, breaking gender barriers with every ascent. As a result, the Shimshal mountaineering tradition not only endures, but flourishes, fostering a new generation of mountain enthusiasts who carry forward the spirit and the legacy of their ancestors with pride and determination. The mountaineering traditions of Shimshal are not the only example of the local strong connection and respect for their environment. Shimshal maintains a profound relationship with nature, drawing from its traditional Wakhi culture and Islamic principles. Rooted in surplus-oriented economy of transhuman livestock herding and agriculture, the community safeguards its landscape with a commitment unparalleled in many parts of the world. Historical events are etched in songs and stories, guiding the community in a conscientious stewardship, exemplified by their sustainable hunting practices and collective approach. Yet, the completion of the road, the introduction of hydroelectricity, the move of the youth to large urban centers, and the encroachment of outsiders have bred concerns among the Shimshalis, leading to a skepticism regarding external conservation efforts like Kunjerab National Park and the central Karakoram National Park, both of which include parts of Shimshal. The Shimshalis fear that these structures will impose rigid and contextually inappropriate restrictions that will themselves be destructive of what they perceive as their special and historically sanctioned relationship with nature. In response to these concerns, the Shimshal Nature Trust emerged as a local initiative. The trust signifies the community's proactive stance in preserving its unique cultural and environmental heritage. The Wakhi culture, deeply embedded in Shimshal's identity, plays a pivotal role in shaping the community's relationship with nature. Its practices, beliefs, and knowledge, largely intact due to Shimshal's remoteness, contribute to an ethic of conservation intertwining seamlessly with Islamic principles of nature stewardship. Climate change is also a concern for the valley that is especially vulnerable to glacial lake outburst floods, which are a type of outburst flood occurring when water dammed by a glacier or moraine is released. This kind of flood can happen without any notice being given and is highly destructive. Shimshal, being rightly called the land of lakes and glaciers, as it is blessed with some famous glaciers, is particularly vulnerable to these. The region has witnessed an increased frequency of high floods, leading to the formation of glacial lakes and subsequent threats to the community's landholding, agriculture, and livelihood. The most recent of these floods occurred in 1964, destroying many terraces and half of the original clustered settlement. The delicate balance between nature and the community is further strained by the burgeoning tourism industry, bringing both economic opportunities and environmental risks. The Shimshalis, recognizing the dual nature of these challenges, strive to articulate their indigenous stewardship practices to the international community, seeking support to protect the environment while ensuring their unique way of life endures. During this documentary on Shimshal Valley, we unveiled a beautiful and unspoiled place of nature, with pristine landscapes, towering peaks, and crystal clear rivers. The very welcoming and self-reliant Wakhi community that lives here has avoided many of the damages of our modern globalized world and retained a strong cultural identity. Indeed, what sets Shimshal apart is not only its breathtaking scenery, but also the extraordinary warmth and hospitality of its inhabitants. The Wakhi culture, deeply rooted in traditions and values, adds another layer of beauty to Shimshal. The Shimshalis are characterized by an autonomous communal lifestyle and a harmonious coexistence with nature, as well as a profound respect for their surroundings. Between the many 7,000 meters peaks and this mindset, it is no wonder that this valley has produced the best mountaineers of Pakistan. However, as we marvel at the wonders of Shimshal, it is essential to acknowledge the challenges lying ahead. The opening of Shimshal Road, while promising connectivity and opportunities, poses a potential threat to the traditional lifestyle and culture in the valley. The delicate web of cultural and social links that characterizes Shimshal, which has thrived in isolation for centuries, now faces the risk of disruption. Additionally, the specter of climate change looms large, casting uncertainty on the future of this pristine haven. As we bid farewell to this enchanting journey through Shimshal Valley, it is imperative to recognize the delicate balance between progress and preservation. The responsibility to safeguard this oasis of natural and cultural splendor lies not only with the local community, but also with the global community. Let this documentary serve as a reminder of the urgent need to treat lightly, respecting the traditions and environment that make Shimshal a truly exceptional gem on our planet. May the beauty of Shimshal endure for generations to come, reminding us of the fragility and resilience inherent to our world.